you are someone that ums or uhs or ums and you judge yourself for it, keep listening because I have a really fun reframe and reflection point as to why you might be doing it. Welcome, friends. It is morning time and I felt the urge to do this video, so here we are. So a while back I had this really interesting aha moment thinking about the filler words of and And if you think about it, it sounds very similar to oming. And fun fact, om, O-M, in Sanskrit is actually spelled A-U-M. And so when you actually om with the letters, it feels and vibrationally has a very different experience than om. And at least the way I've been taught, the emphasis on the helps with the expansion. So this is turning into an oming talk, but oftentimes there's a big emphasis on the oh. But notice for yourself how it feels, right? Because your experience is going to be unique to you every time you do it. Just notice how it feels to actually emphasize and elongate the Just notice. So back to the filler words. And What if, instead of judging yourself for using these filler words, what if you use the gentle reframe, which is also a reflection point, that you are actually connecting to that primordial sound. So Om is said to be the primordial sound of the universe. When you're saying or is there an aspect of you that is trying to connect with that universal consciousness to support you in communicating exactly what it is that you're trying to communicate? And I keep going this way with the understanding that it is also within here. There's no separation between within and outside. As above, so below, so within, so without. So again, no separation, but there is this sense of like, it's outside, it's above me, right? But again, it's also within you. And that's also why it's coming from within you, it's trying to connect to not only the intelligence, and not mental intelligence, but wisdom, knowledge, knowing, as well as perhaps maybe grounding you in that, finding that vibration, which also, if we think about it from a physiological perspective, the vagus nerve, which runs from the brain down to the second brain, which they're very much connected, the vagus nerve, there's a feedback loop between the brain and the gut, which there's so much information out there. I highly recommend checking it out if that resonates. But it also, I forget the exact positioning, but it is connected in a way to the vocal cord, so that when you chant or hum, it actually stimulates the vagus nerve to help with a sense of grounding, to help with a sense of bringing back the parasympathetic system online to get one out of that stress response. Because I don't know about you, but if you're using a filler word, it oftentimes, we've labeled it as meaning that there's a lack of confidence, you don't know, etc. And the sun is coming out, so the lighting's going to shift. But I also think it's really interesting that the light is coming out through this conversation, actually. Especially as I was talking about the fact that we judge ourselves for it because we've been told it's a bad thing. So if we can reframe it that every time we use an or it's actually us connecting to the truth within, the truth around, the truth, the eternal capital T truth, and grounding us in that, to then allow for this easeful sense of communication. And in that reframe is the reflection point, right? This reflection point that we are connected, even in those moments when we're judging ourselves and not having a sense of confidence. That is almost like our high self or our limitless self tapping in to be like, you know this, just simply connect, ground and connect, connect and ground. And the answer will be there. Now, how we define answer is a whole other conversation in itself. Kind of denotes that there's one answer, which there are many. Or many ways of perceiving it, at least. Again, much bigger philosophical conversation. Not going to go there today. But I hope this is somewhat making sense. If you use or a, are you connecting to that cosmic wisdom to help you ground and help you communicate, to bring forth that knowing within? And if you stop judging yourself for it and realize what you're actually doing, can that actually just naturally help you then to connect to that energy without needing to use the filler words? So you are just simply communicating with ease and grace, mindful of your word choices, but not necessarily thinking them. They just simply flow. So that's all I got for you today. And until next time, friends, stay curious.